I believe that having shrimp in your tanks makes your plants grow a lot faster. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. So before I actually get into the topic of this one, I just want to say thank you for everyone that's been supporting the channel up till now. We're actually on the home stretch to get to 10,000 subscribers. Right now what we do have is, I believe, 9,917, something like that. So like very close, less than 100 more subscribers to hit the 10,000 mark. And at that point I'll be doing a pretty nice giveaway and see where we get from there. So it's been, I never thought I'd get this far, but it really has gotten to a whole completely different level. Guppy Fish Enthusiasts on Facebook, we're pushing over 26,000 members, and my fan page. So if you guys want to check that out, right on here. So this is Home Aquatics on Facebook. What do I got on here? I got, I think like 155 likes and followers, and then I also have a link to a store. So where it says shop now, you'll be able to support Home Aquatics. All those products are on Amazon, so then I get a percentage of it, and that helps support the channel. So all those products on Amazon, it's a secure website, and I have links and products that I recommend, so you can definitely check that out. Link is also in the description below. So what I want to do about this video is I've been doing a little experiment with keeping shrimp in my planted tanks. So as you can tell, I have a lot of Java Moss, Java Fern, Anubias, Nana down there, more Anubias, more Java Moss, and Java Fern as well in these. The Java Fern I had people ask before about it. This might be a closer look. They're like, yeah, that's not really Java Fern, but it is. It's Windlog Java Fern, so it's a different one. It doesn't have that long leaves like all the others do. Maybe I can show you. I think I have one right in this tank right here. So it looks like this. So this is Windlove Java Fern. The branches tend to branch out a little bit more. So it grows like that and then it branches out. I prefer this one over the others just because it provides more hiding spots for the fry and for the little shrimp. So, topic of this video. I've always had Java Moss in all my tanks, but I've noticed that all the tanks that have the shrimp, the Java Fern, and Java Moss explodes in growth. So this stuff is taking up almost this whole tank, but I've been leaving it because of all these shrimp. So these are my white ones, the clear. This tank has the, oh wait, back in that corner, the red and white striped ones. These are my light blues. And then in this tank, this is where I have the Santa Monica filtration system, which is that guy right back there. And this tank for some reason has the darkest blue shrimp I've ever had. It's very difficult to get in there because I have this shelf up here. But actually that reminds me, we did get news that the house process is moving forward and we have water. So within the next month or so, we should be moving into the new house. So this whole thing, there'll be a whole series of tearing this all down, moving all the fish, and how I'm going to transport them. The house is about 20 miles from where I currently live, so there'll be a whole process of getting these tanks there, bagging the shrimp and fish up, moving them over there, setting up the new setup. Right now what I plan on doing is just keeping them in a basement, so this exact setup but in my basement until we're able to start putting down floors and walls and refurbish the basement, create my office, workout room, all that good stuff down there. But you guys will definitely be following in on that. I'll give you guys a tour of the house empty before we even get in there, where the shrimp tanks are going to go, where the fish tanks are going to go. And then, hopefully these 5.5 gallon tanks will become 10 gallon tanks. Pick up a couple more of those. Get rid of this guy. So this guy might be up for sale. So if any of you guys live in the area. I mean, it's been with me the whole time I've had Home Aquatics, but I've drilled a couple holes and changed and customized it a bit. So if you guys want it, it'll be up for sale in the near future, because I want to change a 30 gallon into a 40 and have two 40s and then a bunch of 10s. I mean, yeah, 10.5s. So did I even get what I want to talk about this video? So back to where I was. I get side distracted so easily. So what I wanted to discuss was the shrimp tanks. So I just showed you the Wind Love Java Fern in that tank. But for some reason, in all the tanks I've ever had, if I add shrimp, the plants always grow so much faster and they grow larger. And now my hypothesis behind that is that the shrimp are always cleaning the plants. Right now I don't see that because they're down here just messing around and eating the pellet I just gave them. You might see a little guppy fry swimming around because I throw some guppy fry in here. And also the bubbles on the tank is because I just did a water change. So the shrimp are always foraging on the plants, they're cleaning them off, and I think what that does is it triggers the plants to continue to grow because they're in optimal conditions. They have water changes either weekly or bi-weekly depending how the tanks are. So they always have new nutrients coming in. The shrimp have their waste, so the plants are eating that waste off of that, out of the water. The shrimp then go and clean the plants so there's no debris on the plants and they're able to grow freely. So I think that definitely does have a huge impact. So if you guys have planted tanks, obviously I don't really have planted tanks, all of mine are bare bottom, but I like to have floating plants. But if you guys have bare bottom tanks and you use shrimp, drop a comment below. Tell me what your opinions are, how your experience, anything. Like, have you noticed the same exact things that I have, that if you have shrimp in a tank, that your plants grow much faster? For example, these two tanks received Java moss at the same exact time. But look at the difference of this tank versus that tank. This tank only has had shrimp for maybe like 2 months, while this one has had shrimp now for about a year. Triggering these plants, other than that, they get the same amount of food, they get the same amount of water, the water changes are always the same, so they follow the same exact schedule. But there is a large difference, and I've noticed the more shrimp there are, the more the plants grow. So, again, if you guys have any comments or experience with that, drop it below in the description. And if you belong to the fish group, the Guppy Enthusiast Fish Group, drop a comment there. Share your experiences there because it definitely helps out other hobbyists. Now, the only thing I don't like is I have a ton of snails. So hopefully when I move, get rid of a lot of these. Guppies really like the pellets as well. I like to give them a very varied diet. In that back tank, I did mention before that there was a lot of shrimp in there, and they were the darkest I've had. There's also a lot of snails. The Santa Monica filter is actually working. I just checked it today. Maybe in a few videos down the line, I'll show you it. It is starting to grow some algae inside, but at the same time, it's also caused a huge explosion of snails that are eating it. So when I pulled it out, there were snails galore. So yeah, we'll have to figure out what we're doing with those. Other than that, the guppies over here are doing great. They're still breeding. I do have some small ones in there. A lot of the females look like they're ready to drop fry again. So yeah, that's where we're at. I don't want to do too much changes or anything like that, because the more changes I make, the more I'm going to have to move when we go to the new home. And these plants up here are doing pretty well also. The avocado. So this guy started a while ago, still going. The root system is, whoops. Well, that's not good. Oh well. The avocado is actually growing really well. Has all these roots. And no, I'm not blooping that out. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing with this. And this one I broke the toothpicks also, so I have this lock just hanging on here and transferring the weight. But this guy also sprouted. And that took about 3 months, I think, to get to that point. Wow, that's a bummer. Now I gotta figure out what I'm doing with that. But you guys were able to witness the fails. Hey, it's not always good in the fish room. Things break, things have to be changed. That's really about it right now. So if you guys have any comments, concerns, or anything, drop it in the description below. Drop it in the description. Drop in the comment section below. And I'll pretty much respond. I respond to the majority of comments whenever I get a chance. And if you guys are new, drop a like and subscribe. We're almost at the 10,000 mark, and eventually I'll do a giveaway. And if you guys are returning, drop a like and a comment, and make sure to check out Guppy Fish Enthusiast and Home Aquatics on Facebook. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.